The Poseidon's Reach waded in 6,000 meters of water, a fortress of light against the swallowing dark.
43 days at sea, 37 dives, all for a single target, hidden in the silt below.
In 1967, a car vanished into a storm. With it, a driver and secrets the ocean kept for 58 years.
Torres assembled masters of the impossible. Their tool, the Deep Scout, built to survive the crushing deep.
As first light touched the horizon, they committed their vessel to the void between worlds.
The anomaly appeared.
Time and the deep had transformed it. Paint gone, windows imploded.
For hours, they documented. This was archaeology at a depth where history was frozen under immense pressure. The rigging began. Each movement was painstaking. A mistake here would scatter secrets across the seafloor forever.
The transponder signal was sent. A thread of sound connected the abyss to the world above.
Above, the master of the lift prepared. 90 minutes for the cable to fall through 6 kilometers of ocean.
Connection.
The winch engaged. The cable tightened, taking up the unimaginable slack. The moment of truth approached.
The gauge jumped. The Impala had broken the sediment's 5th 8-year grip.
It rose like a ghost ship leaving its haunt. The deep yielded its secret.
The ascent was a journey back through time and depth, from eternal night toward remembered light.
After 58 years, it met the air again, transformed, but whole. Metal met metal. The tension released. The journey of 6 kilometers was over.
The Chevrolet Impala was home. 5,700 meters and a lifetime removed from its last sunrise. The mission was complete. The depths remembered, and then relinquished. The past was now present.
For the pilots, the victory was in the return. They had delivered their crew to the void and back safely.
Each fragment held its own tale of colonization, of degradation, of journeys across impossible distances.
The master of the giant machine paid quiet respect to the small, recovered thing.
The focus that had sustained her for weeks began to dissolve. In its place, a quiet emptiness.
The secrets were safe now, stabilized. Their final meaning awaited experts on land. From a distance, it was just a ship on the water. Nothing betrayed the monumental act just completed.
Michael Carrington drove into the storm, a briefcase beside him. He never saw the coast again.
The artifact was prepared for its next journey, to a laboratory, to become a story told under glass.
He relived the moment of discovery, that materialization from the dark. It still felt unreal.
Perspective is everything. From here, a triumph. From above, a speck on an infinite sea.
The official record was concise. It could never contain the weight of the water, the silence, the patience.
The vehicle that conquered the pressure was cleaned for the next conquest. A trusted tool, resting.
As dusk fell, they covered it. The spectacle was over. The work of understanding was next.
In the sterile light of the lab, the first questions were asked of the ocean's long-kept secret.
She looked down at the water, now just water again.
For decades, it existed only as an acoustic ghost, a blur in the data, a maybe.
The final handoff approached. From the sea, to the sky, to the land.
The last connection. The ship would soon be empty of its prize.
It left the steel deck as it had left the silt, suspended between worlds.
They watched it go. A collective exhalation. The mission was truly over.
The ship turned for port. Behind them, only a circle of disturbed water, already healing.
I'm just glad we don't have to write up the anomaly report.
Honestly, I was already drafting my resignation.
The specialized machine of the mission disassembled into ordinary people again, carrying an extraordinary memory.
The Impala's journey ended not on a highway, but in a hangar, where scientists and historians waited.
For her, this was not an end, but a beginning. The story was now hers to coax from the corrosion.
Two women, linked by an object. One who found it, one who would now learn from it.
The sea had let its mark on the ship, and now the ship returned it, clean for the next unknown.
The final confirmation. The secret was not just recovered,
but readable. The value was proven.
They returned not as conquerors, but as witnesses. They had been to a place few ever see.
The ship itself was a veteran of the deep. Its scars, a logbook of battles with the ocean.
The audio begins with a bustling ambient sound. The rustling is dissipating.
The world heard a snippet, a footnote on the news. They didn't feel the pressure or see the drifting snow. The files closed on one mystery. New ones waited, in other depths, with other stories to tell.
And the seafloor? The depression filled. The current smoothed the silt.
For the next generation, it was not a mystery, but a fact. A thing that was lost, and then was found.
She came to see it as the world saw it, a static exhibit. She remembered it breathing sediment in the lights.
The secret was no longer secret. It was history, contributing a missing piece to a long-solved puzzle.
The object yielded data long after its recovery. A textbook on the effects of extreme pressure on materials.
The commander moved on, because the deep never runs out of secrets. It only waits.
The ocean looked the same everywhere on the surface.
Even the hunter of the deep needed care. It, too, bore the marks of the sea.
The current's long journey was charted. 58 years of slow, inexorable drift into the abyss.
The memory lingered in the geography, a scar on the subconscious map of those who were there.
A tangible reminder, not of the car, but of the thread that connected two worlds for one brief, fragile lift. The ritual repeated. The dance with the deep continued. Each descent a hope, each return an answer. It took its place in a career of recoveries. Special, but not singular. The work was the point.
The only constant witness was the moon, indifferent to the small dramas played out far below its light.
The frontier pushed deeper. The Impala was a milestone, not a land. The true abyss still called.
The most personal recovery was not for museums. It was a photograph, returned to its home.
Life in the deep continued, untouched. Our intrusions were brief flashes, forgotten by the eternal dark.
Knowledge was passed on. Lessons from the lift became protocols for the next team.
This specific data point highlights the success of the recent campaign. We should aim to replicate this trend in the next quarter.
The mission became a case study, a reference point in the annals of reaching into the dark.
The mission inspired. It turned minds toward the ocean, toward the challenge of the unseen.
The journey upward was a rebirth. For the car, for the secret, for the crew's purpose.
And so, it was folded into the story of the world.
Patience. It's all patience.
The wisdom of the deep was simple. Rushing meant failure. Failure meant loss.
From the highest perspective, the achievement vanished. The ocean kept its scale and its secrets.
The thrill wasn't in the finding, but in the looking. The next unknown was always the sweetest.
To some, it was just an object behind glass, a part of the nightly cleaning rounds.
A violent moment became beautiful. The great machine rested. Its purpose fulfilled, it waited for the next call to battle the deep.
The mission's value multiplied in the data. Every frame held information about the untouched deep.
The cycle began anew. Different people, different target. Same vast, patient ocean.
The awe became interaction. The mystery became a game. The depth became a flat screen.
The map retired. Its urgent purpose fulfilled, it became a record, a piece of history itself.
Sometimes, in dreams, the ocean took it back. The victory was never permanent in the subconscious.
The past's urgent mystery became the present's coolly explained exhibit. Time neutralizes all urgency.
The hands that secured the straps now held something soft and light and new. And here, where it all happened, there is nothing to see. The deep keeps its secrets by hiding them in plain sight.
Recognition was paperwork. The work was the reward. The next dive was the only thing that mattered. The last veil was lifted, not with a flourish, but with the quiet reverence of a scholar.
The very stuff of the abyssal plane sat on a shelf, a sample of the deepest earth.
One point illuminated on the map of global ignorance, a beacon against the dark of the unknown.
We don't conquer the deep, we visit it, and if we're careful, it lets us bring a piece back.
Even its display was temporary. It was moved, recontextualized. The story was retold.
A connection became genetic, diluted by generations, but still a thread of shared history.
Nature filled the wound. The impression was gone. The deep had healed itself completely. The true legacy was not the object, but the data, a gift to the future's curiosity. For some, it was the pinnacle of a life's work, a sentence in a story that defined them.
Some triumphs are quiet. The fanfare faded, but the unopened bottle remained a testament. Its journey to the depths was longer than its recovery. A slow, tragic fall into silence.
The technology moved on. The ships became better, smarter, more capable. The legacy was progress.
It was maintained, cared for. It would outlast everyone who found it, a relic for ages hence.
The story was packaged, narrated, and delivered. But for those who were there, the memory was wordless. On the scale of the world, it was a blink, a momentary flicker of light in the vast, dark water.
The legend lived on in the culture of those who go down. A badge of honor, a shared story.
The ocean has its own light, its own life, its own memory.
The deep always returns to dark. Our light is temporary, our presence an interruption.
The cycle continued. The name changed. The goal remained. To ask the deep to remain.
The last of the deep ocean left the car. The transformation from sea to land was finally, utterly complete.
The last physical connection to the depth was a bubble, bursting unnoticed into the free air.
It was always about hands. Human hands. Reaching, doing, recovering, preserving.
The depths remember, but they do not speak. We must listen with light,